Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make the microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could have played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crack a pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic.
Today I want to talk about what it is to be beautiful and also what it is to be ugly, because I have determined that it's all about energy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're physically, it's one thing to be physically attractive, like aesthetically pleasing, but it's a whole nother thing to be beautiful, you know? Like, beautiful is a fairly loaded term. And, okay, so there was this boy in my DMs recently, and like we've been talking for a minute, right? Like, I would say too long to be dropping this just now, but a few nights ago he said, okay, so he proudly declared that he's a misogynist, like shamelessly, and I was like, oh, what? I said, why would you tell me you're a misogynist? You know I'm a woman, right? Your arch enemy. And then he said, well, I think I asked him whether he thinks that women can have valuable opinions, and he admitted that he probably doesn't. And on one hand I thought, well, at least he's honest, you know? But then he kept trying to talk to me, like he said, hey, my bitch, as though I am his, and as though I am a bitch, and I am neither of those things. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't reply to that. Oh, he also, that's the other thing, that was the cherry on the top, he referred to Andrew Tate as top G, non-ironically, and then I thought, oh shit, it's over for this guy. Yeah, so, but we'd been talking for like, I would say too long to be dropping this just now. You know, like this was news to me. I mean, not really though, not really, because everything is energy. What do I mean by that? I mean that I could tell that he was a misogynist, because all he did really was tell me how sexy I was, and that's fine, but it's not really interesting conversation, if you know what I mean. So I could tell to an extent, and I wasn't blown away. I thought, oh, that's why you don't have anything else to say, because he doesn't value women's opinions. And so my point is, he's very physically attractive, like a very sexy, physically he's very attractive, but his soul is ugly, you know what I mean? Because if you suck as a person, as in like your soul is black, you just have no time for anybody, you hate the world, you hate everybody, you hate everything, if that's your reality, then it doesn't really matter how sexy you are physically, how aesthetically pleasing you may be, you're never going to be beautiful. You know what I mean? Also on this topic, what does it mean to be beautiful? I have also determined that being beautiful is, it's about energy, but it's also about, it's not about how you look, it's about how someone else looks at you. You know what I mean? It's not about how you look, it's about how someone else looks at you. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so Hosking, for anyone who's not familiar with me, Hosking is my best friend, and he has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend's name is Sarah. His girlfriend's name is Sarah. And Hosking thinks that Hasara is the most beautiful girl in the world, right? Because it's his girlfriend, because he loves her. And like, but what makes her so beautiful? Well, she is also physically a very gorgeous person, but That's not what makes her beautiful to Hosking. You know, like what makes her beautiful is because he loves her. And so when he looks at her, it's kind of like his vision of her is enhanced by how much he loves her. And that's what makes a person beautiful. You're beautiful. You are. You're beautiful. And you're perfect. And I love you. You're in control, Allanah. You're in control, Allanah. So just remember that. You know, like, it's not about how you look physically, how you look on the outside. It's not about that. It's about what's on the inside that counts. It's about, I don't mean to sound so cliche, but it's about energy. Everything is about energy. And so even if you just look like physically, if you're just like average, you can upgrade yourself to like the sexiest person in the world. To somebody. You should view yourself through the eyes of the people who love you. Don't view yourself through your own eyes, because then you've got ego, you've got all these attachments and projections. I'm assuming, I don't know how much you meditate, but yoga, prayer, meditation. Because people are inherently very flawed, you know, like we're human, so we're going to behave like humans. And humans are inherently flawed. How can I see this person in the best possible light? And some people, I mean, some people's souls are black, and that light is going to be, like, you're going to have to be so generous with that light that the light is going to run out of energy and you're going to be in a blackout. But I think that it's worth doing anyway. I think that it's worth seeing everybody and everything through the best possible light. Some people's lights are still going to cause a power outage because some people have so much, some people are completely drowned in darkness. You're in control, Allanah. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So darkness is anything that obscures light. So things like low vibrational activities will create darkness. Stuff like gossiping or lying. You know, M. Scott Peck said in one of his books, lies bend the soul. And so gossiping and lying and those kind of lower vibrational activities, they're what's going to create darkness. And you can cast out the darkness with higher vibrational activities like yoga, prayer, and meditation. As you rise above thought. Are you with me? We're at Million Live, so... A bit better what your pain body is and how you can identify your pain body. Okay, so your pain body is like, well, do you feel pain right now? Anywhere, everywhere, anywhere, just a bit everywhere in your body? That's your pain body. So you have your pain body and then you have your ego, and your ego is the voice that says like, you're not good enough, or these people are going to think this, or these people are going to think that, or like you're the greatest thing in the world. You know, like Kanye has a very, some would say, encouraging ego, but it's still your ego. You can think of your pain body as the sum total of resistance in your energy. The sum total of the extent to which you are resisting what is. You know, like you might not love your job or you might not love your body. Even at the moment, we have to accept it as it is. What we resist persists. So, well, how can I kill my pain body? That's a great question. The opposite, what's the opposite of resistance is surrender. It's faith in a higher power. That's why NA and that works so well. It grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The prayer works because it gives you, it's going, okay, there are some things that I can't change, and so accept that, and the courage to change the things I can, and that's also important, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because when you know the difference, then you let go of trying to control anything else. Darkness can be created by lower vibrational activities like gossiping or lying, you know, like speaking about other people. So that's what darkness is. Anything that obscures light, like gossiping or lying, any of these lower vibrational activities will create darkness. Or just noise, you know, like listening to a podcast or the TV. Television is the worst one. I hate television these days. I mean, I did just watch all of it just like that, but I hate it because it creates darkness, unconsciousness. Do you know what I mean? You're not consciously being when you're watching television. And so, yeah, watching television creates darkness. But I also want to say, don't burn out your light trying to keep others warm. You know what I mean? Because, like, you need to stay warm first and bright and light. Are you still following me? Good. Wonderful. We want to shine our light onto people so that we can see them in the best possible light, but with reasonable boundaries. Okay? So that we're protecting our own energy. And how do we do all of these things, Allanah? Well, prayer, yoga, meditation. You have a perfect face and a perfect ass, and people love you. Have you fallen deeply, deeply in love with me? I love you loads, and I miss you loads and loads and loads. I'm about to say some crazy shit. All right, you ready? So, because I grew up in Japan until I was like about 5 or 6, I grew up in Japan because my dad was an engineer for Ford Motor Company. I feel like on the inside, I am spiritually like a Japanese baby girl. And I don't mean like an Asian baby girl, like the Tumblr term. I mean like I feel like my soul is Asian. Found the lighter. Do you know when you lose something, you're supposed to pray to Saint Anthony and you say, "Dear Saint Anthony, please help me find the lighter."
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make the microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could have played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap.
I met this boy in church and he was like, "Have you ever heard the story of the Frog Prince?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, it's the story where that frog turns into a prince." And then he was like, "Yeah. Well, you can call me Frog Prince." And I don't know if he's trying to say that he has properties. I found a direct correlation between how much weed I've smoked and how much my cat looks like food. So I painted him as different foodstuffs. This is my cat if he were a seafood platter. And this is my cat if he were a burrito. And then this is my cat if he were an ice cream sundae banana split. And then this is my cat IRL. You don't really need to be looking for all these specific red flags in a boy. Like, you can just go by how does he make you feel. Do you get what I mean? Because that is what you should trust. You should trust your own feelings. And I feel like women have been conditioned out of trusting their own feelings. But if someone tells you that you're crazy, well, investigate that. Why is he saying that? Do you think that it's possible that you're not crazy at all and he's just trying to undermine you? And I know that there are levels to this. You know, like some people get told that they're crazy so much that they go crazy. Might you be crazy? Then investigate that. Why might I be crazy? What are my symptoms? I just feel anxious some of the time. You're not crazy. You just feel anxious some of the time. Well, maybe you're just having feelings like a human being. So some crazy behaviour might be going through someone's phone. I mean, I went through a guy's phone once, you know, I won't lie, but it turned out that he was cheating on me. And that's the thing. But the only reason why you should feel the need to go through his phone is if he's been playing around. You know what I mean? And there are loads of men out there who will try to undermine you at every turn because they don't value themselves enough to feel that they deserve you. And so what they feel that they need to do is to bring you down to their level. I mean, on one side of the argument, there's going through someone's phone when they're not looking. But then I feel like in a healthy, trusting relationship, you just be like, oh, and peer over their shoulder and be like, oh, who's this girl who's DMing you? Or, I don't know, I haven't been in a relationship for so long, I can't even remember what love is. I'm kidding. But I recently, so I've never been single. Since I was 14 until like 2 years ago, I've never been single. And now I'm walking around the world and I'm noticing couples. And I realized that like, wow, I completely forgot that when you're in love, you're crazy. Do you know what I mean? Because people will be like in the elevator and stuff sometimes and they'll be like, oh, you're so cute. No, you're so cute. No, you're so cute. And I'm like, wow, I don't miss being insane though. You get what I'm trying to say? So some other examples of crazy behaviour might be keying someone's car, but people do things for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, I always hear men talking about, oh, she keyed my car and she said that I beat her up and all of this. And what I want to say is, but did you beat her up? People do things for reasons. Other examples of crazy behaviour are not letting you see anyone or have friends. That is completely insane. That is imprisonment. So now I'm going to give you some examples of behaviour that is not so crazy at all. Say, for instance, if you're dating a guy and he wants to go and he goes and spends a weekend with his female friend who you don't know alone in a hotel room. And you're like, what the fuck? I don't feel fine with this. That's not crazy behaviour. That is completely normal behaviour. Trust your intuition. That is not right. Did you hear that Kanye remarried a girl who works for his company? Sure.